Uh, um, Good evening, everybody. How are you guys doing? I want to especially thank all of you for joining us today. Monday Night Live. Um, it's been a very interesting season in Nigeria right now. It's been an interesting season um, in Africa. It's been an interesting also all over the world. So it's kind of um, it's been some sort of time where you just want to believe that things should just start working okay. Um, but I'm happy that we're here today to hear and be blessed by someone I totally respect. So before then, I want to welcome everybody to Monday Night Live. I want to say thank you for joining us. I am I I hope and I pray that this would bring a turnaround and a change in our lives, all of us one by one. Um, Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. I'll go straight today. We don't have all the time because the big uncle I have here today is or the person that's I don't know if you have 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, whether it will be enough to have him speak his experience, his life, and a lot that he wants to teach us. I don't know whether it will be enough. Today we have a lot of young people here. We're trying to build a community and a generation that's are ready to bring about change for their own society. Today, I have the privilege, the rare, rare privilege, to have with me. I remember one time I spoke to him. I was in London. I'm not even sure what part of the world he is in. Um, and we spoke for maybe 3 hours or so, and it was such a blessing. It was such an eye-opening experience for me, and from that day, I just had to hold him tight. I also I am privileged to have experienced his passion for young people, and he has helped me, supported me in ways that I cannot say openly. Please, everybody, if you've got any emoji there, help me, whether clapping, whether waving, whatever you can just send, whether you're on Instagram, whether you're on Zoom, whether you're on YouTube, wherever you are, please make some noise, clap your hands, um, wave your hands, dance, and help me welcome Big Uncle um, Dele Momodu. Come on, everybody. Hello, sir.
Good evening, Dr. Timothy Godfrey. Let me
Yes,
let
sir.
me name in full and let me say how delighted I am to be on your program tonight. I do not take it for granted. I believe I also have a lot to learn from younger people, just as I also believe I have something to offer. So I'm looking forward to tonight's program. I've been waiting for it, and finally it is here, and I'm very, very grateful to you. Thank you so
Yes,
much for.
sir. I mean, I've never seen the level. I don't even know, and I'm going to start asking you questions straight up. Um, I've never seen this level of humility that you have. I've I've never seen the level of passion for growth that you have. I've never seen the level of um, calm in the midst of storm, trouble that you have. I've never seen, I don't know how you are able to manage. I follow you on Instagram and I see sometimes people just want to throw one shade or the other, and how you always are ready to communicate whichever way they want it. Um, Tell us, one of the things that affects us today as young people, and I know I have a couple of people, whether young or not young, but one of the things that affect us a lot is ego, pride, this whole feeling that we have arrived or we have achieved. People make $1 million and they can't control what has made you. Speaking with you every time, and this is not even if it was fake, somebody would have noticed it. Your
Mm.
ability to communicate and relate to people at any kind of level at all, any kind of level. I've been part of. I remember when we were doing something in Ghana. I mean, I remember when they were doing Ghana Music Award like maybe 15 years ago or 17 years. It was the first time I experienced you, and you put me on Ovation then. Um, and even though we did not win anything or nothing, but I remember being on interview. We held that particular edition of Ovation like so much. You have been a presidential candidate. That is the biggest thing anybody want to do in life as far as his country is concerned, but still very humble. What's what has given birth to that level of humility? And I don't know how to explain it. What can you say? How did you become who you are?
Well, let me put it this way. There is a popular saying that experience is the best teacher. We unfortunately live in an era of ignorance. There are so many ignorant people today. And because of the proliferation of social media, they believe that, yes, oh, who are you? I can talk to anybody. And then suddenly we've all lost respect for our elders, for our classmates, for our friends, for our seniors. So, but for me, my experience from right from the time I was born and I started knowing right from wrong was for my parents to tell me I must respect every soul. Whether you are poor, you are rich, you are climbing, I must respect you. And that has been it with me. I remember a lot of my seniors in school, especially in secondary school, who were not more than 1 year older than me. Till today, I call them senior. Till today, I call them senior. I started life very early. At the age of 22, you will not believe it. I was already teaching A level. I was a teacher at A level, and some of my students were older than me. And when they speak to me and I answer yes, sir, and they are like, what is going on here? How can our teacher be saying yes, sir to us? But that's the way we were brought up. And some people can say it doesn't matter. The world has changed. For me, nothing has changed. Let me tell you, it is so easy for you to get things done if you are humble. You have nothing to lose. It does not remove thing from you to be humble. I am telling you, some people will say, oh, somebody doesn't like Dele Momodu, and I will smile. Let that person meet me. I will disarm you. Chief MKO Abiola was one of those who taught me a lot of lessons in life. And he used to say that if you want to take something from someone, your height does not matter. If you are too tall and the person is shorter than you, bend down to the person's level and get what you want to get. It does not move your height. It does not diminish your height. So a lot of people don't understand these things. That look, you have to be humble. You have to stoop to conquer most of the times. People ask me, how do you maintain relationships? How come you have access to the rich and famous and not so famous and not so rich? It is because I treat everybody as equal. Once I meet you, trust me, once I meet you, you can be sure that if you don't like me, then you are a naturally wicked person. Because I'm going to do everything possible to make you comfortable. The day you were referring to that you called me, it wasn't that it was convenient. It wasn't that I was jobless. But the truth is that I knew a day like this will come when you will remember if what I did that day was bad. This is the same way you remember it. You may not refer to it.
My God.
And that's why we must be conscious of our behavior at all times. So it's nothing difficult for me. It's something I've lived with all my life. Whether you are young, you are old, it makes no difference. But humility, trust me, humility is very, very... In fact, if you go in the Bible, you will see the passage where it says, arrogance leads to destruction. Arrogance leads to destruction. A lot of people don't know that when they are arrogant, people can tolerate you up to a point, but one day it will work against you. A lot of people expect you to be arrogant when you are successful. Now you are a successful gospel artist. Now you are a big player in your industry. People naturally expect you to be arrogant. But when they meet you and you do the opposite, trust me, it raises you higher. That's what happens. A lot of people are, oh, they don't want to publish ovation. Oh, former presidential candidate. Oh, don't mind him. He's snobbish. It's a lie. They don't know you. Yes. They just assume that they know you. And then they begin to stereotype you. But if God has given you that wisdom to know how to handle every individual, you will do fine.
Woo. Yes, sir. That makes me, and here's me just saying, I have also discovered that, and I'm going to ask you the next question, but I've also discovered that if you want to know who is really humble, wait for the person to become rich. Wait
I
for the
agree.
person to have everything they need. It's easy for people to be humble and chase after you and lie on the floor when they need something from you. But I've seen people that used to call me daddy as young as I am. I'm telling you, don't call me daddy again. They say, no, you're my dad, you're my daddy. And because they just started doing well, they went from calling me daddy to calling me uncle. And suddenly to bros. And one day from bros, he started saying, he's my colleague, he's my colleague. And next thing, because they are actually big now, they now start saying, Timothy, that Timothy guy. And the next thing they're going to say, that guy, I had somebody that I personally helped to train. Sometimes I'll go and help them. And the next time he told people that he was one that trained me. Somebody said it to me that I said, what? So people, the best way to test somebody's humility is, I mean, when you don't have poverty is synonymous with humility. But if you have all the money and everything that you need in this world, everything you need in this world, that is when you could say, I want to test whether somebody. So, and that's why I respect you a lot. I mean,
No,
like you said, yeah, you spoke to me.
Dr. Tim,
Yes,
just
sir.
a moment. Let me tell you, there are arrogant, poor men and women. Yes, we in Yoruba they call them talika alagidi. They will do gra gra. In fact, if you see them, they have more money than Adenuga or Dangote. Trust me, and that is why some of them will never prosper because they are too arrogant. Even when they meet their savior and their Messiah, they are going to misbehave to that person.
Yeah, they'll miss the person.
So
Yes.
you wonder, this guy is brilliant, this guy is okay, but why is he still very poor? It is because he lacks manners. A lot of people are mannerless. Let me tell you, if you are mannerless, you have a long way to go in life. Woo. If you are arrogant and you think you can disrespect anybody, you have a long way to go in life. You must learn to humble yourself. It does not make you stupid. It does not mean you are an idiot. But some people don't understand it and claiming every right. Yes, I am too right. I know too much. You can't cheat me. Let them cheat you. Me, I'm ready to be cheated. If you ask me, one of my strongest points today is the fact that I'm ready to forgo anything for peace. You must be a man of peace. You must be very, very willing to accommodate people. Even when they offend you, forgive them. Even the Bible teaches it.
Yes.
So a lot of our young people nowadays claim every right. They know everything. Nobody knows more than them. Even there are times someone will talk to me and I know the person is wrong. And just to create an atmosphere of peace, I will keep quiet. You must know when to talk and you must know when not to talk.
Wow. Okay. So normally when we have this, this is called Monday Night Live. When we have it, I will normally, and I was beginning to feel like get frustrated with the fact that I love the Bible very well. We pray a lot, and we charge ourselves up. People gather on YouTube. We have last time we had over 1,000 people on YouTube that's tuned in, and we were so blessed and everything. I was beginning to wonder um um we the feeling for me right now, I want to ask you how first if you're a Christian, how you have been able to manage Christianity and what you do, and what is your mindset of Christianity in in the world that we live in today. What is it that we're doing from your own perspective? What is it that we're doing wrong or right? And I'm going to say this before you answer. I personally, my opinion, and I might be wrong, I'm a super proud gospel artist. And I've ministered and I've seen miracles. I don't normally talk about this, but it's okay to even share one of. And by the grace of God, with every humility, I've had to minister where somebody that had HIV/AIDS positive was healed, and the lady went for tests twice, one in Nigeria, one in America, and she was absolutely healed from HIV. Had the positive result and the negative result. I've seen God do tremendous things, miracles, and that's even me. I was beginning to get worried. I'm saying, God, can you just leave me alone? Just I don't want all of this unnecessary attention. I just want to sing and jam and leave. Now, guess what? I think, and I'm very much more interested in our growth as young people, as the youth of Nigeria, with everything happening in the society. I feel like it will be very insensitive of me not to bring somebody like you that has done it at the presidential level. You have done it for other countries where you've worked with presidents and you've worked with senators and you've worked with ministers and you've worked with chiefs and obas and whatever you want to call them, everybody from high to low in society. As a Christian, what I would normally be taught, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I want to just bring our mind to what I would normally be taught is to pray 7 days dry fasting, 40 days fasting, go for vigils upon vigils, and all of those things. They are beautiful. They're beautiful. I'm wondering, why is it that most Christians still do all of these things and they are still. I mean, my own personal opinion is that one of the things that we have missed as Christians is that we don't know when to Bible says rightly dividing the word of truth, rightly dividing truth. Like you pick out what the Bible have said and look at it by yourself and know what to do. If you ask a very regular Christian today, um, what do you think about Nigeria? You say, God, Nigeria is in God's hand. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that. I think that there's so much we have missed as Christians. Um, when you think about the whether Steve Jobs, for instance, or Facebook, or whatever I want to call them, or this guy on Amazon, the CEO of Amazon, all of these guys, there's something. They are the richest men in the world, and I, I don't know what their
Most
relationship
of
with
them
God
don't even
is.
go to church. They don't go to church.
Yeah. So why is it that Christians? I mean, you we have. I think that personally, it's good to pray. It's good to worship. It's good to have a relationship. And I repeat, it, relationship, not religion. Relationship with God. But in Africa, I get criticized a lot, even because of my style of music. People get emotionally messed up so hard that because people are dancing, they think you're not spiritual. They think that the only spiritual. So, how have you been able? How do you see this whole thing going on in Nigeria, Nigerian politics? How do you? What role do you think Christians can play? How do you think that? What do we tell young people today on how to really face the world that we live in today? How I don't know how to ask the question, but I think we're missing something. America is a very powerful place. Dubai is, we all travel to Dubai for holidays and vacations and all of that. And it's not even a Christian country. What are we not doing right? What do we need to do, especially for young people? What is the orientation that we need to have? How do we go about business in the world today? I feel like the one thing that I'm not taught in church is um to work, to not cut corners, to not to not believe God for what I'm supposed to. Bible, God was talking to Moses and said, "What do you have in your hands?" And most Christians don't have anything in their hands. They just want to go and pray. They just want to go and they just want to just feel spiritual and think that they're no. I personally don't. So what's your position for this? I pray a lot. If I pray hard. If I worship hard. If I praise hard. I've done most of your events and I give it my 100%. But that does not mean that I'm stupid not to know when God expects you. Because people respond to solution bringers, whether you're a Muslim, Hindu, whatever. If you can bring solution, if you solve problems, people will look at you and come to you. What would you how do you relate Christianity to the life we're living today? I feel like before my orientation about politics is that it's a bad place, a horrible place. Christians shouldn't get close to politics. And I think it still exists up to now that we don't want to get into politics, we don't want to get into, and we feel like they're all bad things. Some people even feel like if you become rich today, people start looking at you and saying, in Nigeria, the moment you become rich, people suspect that you have done bad things to become rich. What do we do as young people? What advice would you have for Christians, young people especially?
Well, I can feel your frustration, even from your voice. But fortunately for me, in our time, we had access to many books. If I knew you were going to ask this very, very important question, I would have brought out some books from my library. I'm surrounded by books there. But I was scribbling as you were speaking. I was scribbling. And what I will say is that, number one, I was fortunate to have read two books, two very important books as I was growing up. The first one was by a philosopher called Bertrand Russell. Bertrand Russell was an unbeliever. He was an atheist who did not believe in the existence of God. So fortunately, I read it, and that actually reinforced my own belief in God. Imagine you are reading a book from a man who does not believe in God. That book is titled Why I Am Not a Christian. And if you can find it, every soul should read it. And what that book did for me was that it tried to describe who a Christian is to me. It described who a Christian is to me. One, a Christian is a follower of Jesus Christ. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Number two, a Christian is a believer in Jesus Christ. So what the man was saying is that, one, you must follow Christ to be a Christian, because the word Christianity itself is from Jesus Christ. Number two is that you must believe in Jesus Christ. For you to follow Jesus Christ, for you to believe in Jesus Christ, there are things you must do. You must read the Bible. You must read about the story, the trajectory of Jesus Christ from birth to death. The book is called Why I Am Not a Christian. Okay? So, most people in Nigeria who claim to be Christians, they are not qualified. And I will tell you why. You cannot be qualified to be a lover of Jesus Christ, to be a believer in Jesus Christ, if you are not willing to be like Jesus Christ. Jesus did not say you should be perfect. In fact, he said in the Holy Book that I have not come only for the righteous, I've come for sinners. Mm-hmm. So you cannot be a Christian for the following reasons. And I quickly jotted down some. But before I go to those reasons, let me tell you about the second book. It's a book by a man called Thomas Paine. That's one of my favorite books ever. Thomas Paine, and it's titled The Age of Reason. I bought all his books. In The Age of Reason, it is the same thing about not believing in Jesus, by not believing in God and everything. But reading those books taught me that I don't have to go to church to be a Christian. It is good to go to church, because it says wherever 2 or 3 people are gathered in my name, there I will be. Okay? So you don't, but going to church will never make you a Christian. There are people I know who live and die inside churches, and they are worse than infidels. Okay? So to go to church is the icing on the cake, and it's for the congregation. It's for you to congregate with like minds. But you go to church, you see people backbiting, you see people gossiping, you see people who are jealous, they are envious of their fellow. Oh, that one came last week, he just bought a new car. They will gossip about that. So you have not come there to listen to the teachings of our Lord Jesus Christ. So I will now go to the reasons why most people are not Christians, and why even if they pray, their prayer may not go to the right channels. Now, one of them that I love is the spirit of forgiveness. How many Nigerians are willing to forgive their enemies? Especially in politics. And I will give you practical examples and how God has used the power of forgiveness to help me, to bless me in life. In 1995, suddenly, some people came to my house. I was not at home. They met my wife, and they told my wife that the Abacha government was looking for me and that I must disappear immediately, otherwise I may disappear into heaven. To cut a long story short, that was how I found myself running to exile. I had to go through the bush and everything, and I escaped.
Wow.
I eventually made it to London. When I got to London, for about 3 months, I had no job, I had nothing. So a young cousin of mine, Sheikh Fatoye, called me and said, "Hey, bros, I'm afraid you have been here for months. You are not doing anything. At the rate you are going to be suffering, no, because you may have to go and wash plates or even wash dead bodies." I said, "No, God will not do my own like that." Anyway, that was how the idea for Ovation started. So when Ovation started, we said we want to do a lifestyle magazine and everything. Then I came back to Nigeria, and one day I got an invitation from the most unlikely places, Kano. The Abacha family, 2 of their daughters were getting married, Gumsu and Zainab, they were getting married. And they invited Ovation. Imagine those who chased you out of a country, inviting you to their wedding. So I consulted with people. Most people said I should not go. I said, no, I will go. One, if Abacha had not chased me to England, they would not have chased me to my fortune, which is Ovation.
Wow.
And do you understand where I'm going? I said I will go. I went there. Can you imagine the former First Lady, Mrs. Miriam Abacha? Beautiful soul, everything. I don't know what went wrong with the husband, that everything scattered. But she saw me, she welcomed me, she was asking, will you eat my munch? She popped, and I'm like, what? God? So how did God do it? That he turned my misfortune into a fortune. It was not about money. I did not need their money. I did not take a penny from them for that wedding. It was at that wedding that for the first time people were talking about the beautiful house Abacha built in Kano. Nobody ever saw that house. Ovation took pictures of the house. So a lot of people thought it was the wedding that was the main thing, but we were looking for news behind the news. It was that wedding that for the first time we saw the mausoleum in which Abacha was buried. Nobody ever saw where Abacha was buried. If I was an American publisher or a British, I would have made millions from the copyright from that picture. Now the same Nigerians who said I shouldn't go anywhere, all the magazines were now using my pictures. Those who told me not to go, they were the same people now using mine. So I learned then you won't believe what now happened. Some of my friends now came together and said, Ovation must die. How can Ovation cover? They don't understand, number one. The tenets of journalism says I must report. And report saints and sinners. I don't know if there are saints, but that's not my headache. But I am aware that my Lord Jesus Christ did not discriminate against sinners.
Yes.
He can preach against them, but I have not seen anywhere where Jesus killed sinners. So why are we killing those who have wronged us? So that is one. Number two, I will tell you even till today, even this evening. No, let me start from last week. I posted on Instagram that I wanted to interview Tonto Dike. Hey, come and see people abusing me. Oh, the name of what to do is broke. Oh. So it's not Tonto Dike now that we will be talking about. You know, people, ignoramuses, people who cannot see beyond their noses. And you know me, I replied, I said, if you don't want to watch Tonto Dike, don't come on my page because I'm going ahead to interview Tonto Dike. Those who will abuse. So those I could reply, I reply. Do you know what happened? I interviewed Tonto Dike last night. Today, go on Tunde Head North, go on Galaxy Television, go, everybody now is quoting my interview with Tonto Dike. Nobody knew that something positive could come out of an entertainer. As far as that, even me, you will not believe it, I thought she was an illiterate. That's how uninformed Nigerians, they can drag you down into their own illiteracy. Some people will just drag you down and want you to think like an illiterate. And through that interview, we knew that Tonto Dike says she has forgiven the father of her baby. Is that not something positive that I have contributed yesterday? Why? Through just one word, forgiveness. Which Jesus repeated. Say, how many times shall I forgive my enemies? Say 70 times, 7 times. How many Nigerians are ready to forgive their enemies? How many? Even when I'm doing my legitimate job, people are dictating to me. I should not talk to this. So if you hate somebody, I should not talk to the person. Anytime I post Saraki, they will say he has paid me. If I post Buhari's people will keep quiet. It's unbelievable. And we all go to church. They will tell you that somebody stole 70 billion. And without any iota of evidence, you are telling me I should write it like that. Am I a judge? Am I a prosecutor? My job is to report. My job is not to pass judgment. The only time I'm allowed to write anything that could be judgmental is when I'm writing a personal opinion, not in my story. So a lot of magazines, a lot of newspapers have died because of vindictiveness. Nobody can trust them. Tell me who will trust you. You come to my house, you ask me, is it true you stole money in Nigeria? And you say, no, I didn't. And tomorrow you see me write, that thief denies stealing money. That is beyond your right. That's beyond your power. That thief, that rogue, that is not journalism. If people talk to you, please report their response and leave the judgment to your readers. And if it is something criminal, you will never see me anywhere come and write that Hush Puppy is a rogue or is not a rogue. The day they find him guilty, if I don't report it, then come and hold me. I'll report it. If you said anybody did something wrong, once it is proven, I'll report it. But I'm not the one that will find him guilty ahead of time. Some people don't like that. And then some people don't know that something good can come out of a bad man. My Bible teaches me otherwise. Everybody knows about the story of Saul and Paul. If you are a Bible, you will know about that story. So that is that. Let me also give you another one. Love your neighbor as yourself. How many of us love our neighbors as ourselves? How many of us love our neighbor? And God did not say love only saints. Love only good people. Our people hate even their best friends. Internally, our people talk about killing, lynching, without any evidence. Nigerians who call themselves Christians have to go and learn about the true meaning of love. Love means give unconditionally. Don't attach conditions. I give people that I don't know things. Once it is within what I can afford, I give and I move on. And I can give you something, it does not matter whether I know people who have abused me in the past, I know people who have said nonsense about me in the past. And when they come, in fact, they are the ones that you should even draw closer. Because when they leave you, their conscience will tell them that this guy was not supposed to help me. He must be a godly person for him to agree to help me. I'm telling you, that's the way I operate. The other one is stealing. All the people who stole government money in Nigeria, tell me which of them is neither a Christian nor a Muslim. And as soon as they steal and make the money, where are they going? They are going to the mosque or to the church to go and make donations. They will buy pew, they will buy pipe organ, they will buy thinking they can bribe God. God is not stupid. They will be the first to sit on the front rows because they are the ones paying the highest money to the church. I don't do that. Okay? There is nothing wrong in being a Christian, but you cannot claim to be a Christian if you are not able to follow all those basic tenets of Christianity. I'll give you one last one. Judgment. We are too judgmental. If God were to judge us, all of us will just wake up tomorrow morning and see dead bodies on the road. Yeah. If God should judge all of us today, you will just see everybody, bang, 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 attack everywhere. God will kill all of us. There will be nobody left. And we all know our sins. If nobody knows, we all know how we have sinned against God. And the best attitude is for you not just to seek forgiveness, but to atone for your sins. One of the worst things you can do is to judge. It's there in the Bible. Judge not so that you will not be judged. And yet every day, this evening, I posted another one. I want to interview Bobrisky on Thursday. Everything is going haywire. How can you? Ovation, they've said it. You like money too much. Please, is it Bobrisky that will give me money? Or is it Instagram that will pay me for interviewing Bobrisky? I don't understand that. I am seeking knowledge. I am seeking information. I don't even know whether to call Bobrisky a man or a woman. For a long time, I ignored him. But suddenly, it occurred to me that, I am judging a fellow human being without even making an effort to even find out why would anybody say, a man say I'm a woman, and you are saying I don't have a right to ask a question. I can't understand it. And this is what the Bible warns us against. Who amongst you shall cast the first stone? And it's only journalists they fight. Some people will call me, you people, you journalists. We don't have journalists in Nigeria, John. No investigative journalists in Nigeria. You are sitting in your own shop. You are selling your own product. When was the last time you bought a newspaper? When was the last time you advertised in the newspaper? Who told you that journalists are lambs of God who take away the sins of the earth? Who told you that journalists are not running a business? So if Bobrisky goes now to Julie Pharmacy to go and buy Panadol, they will not sell it to, or Health Plus or Med Plus, they will not sell it to him. The answer is they will sell it. If he goes on a flight and you and Bobrisky, you meet on Virgin Atlantic, are you going to offload and say because Bobrisky is on that plane, you will not go to London again? Well, so these are issues that worry me. And I can tell you, I'm a damn good Christian. I'm not perfect, but a lot of these things, I can tell you, a lot of these things, I try to practice. I try to practice what Jesus, I will ask myself, what would our Lord Jesus Christ have done in this situation? Even when I sin, immediately I'm telling God, oh God, hey, why did I do this? God, please forgive me. Men may not forgive me, but I know God will forgive me. So that is the thing. So when you ask me, how have I been able to maintain my Christianity? It's because I'm not doing my Christianity to impress anybody. I'm not even doing it to impress God. I'm doing it for my own peace of mind. I'm not. I'm not practicing Christianity because I want to impress anybody. And I will not be rude to you, but if you are rude to me, I tell you, first time, second time you don't listen, I block you. Thank God that the young guys who designed social media, they put the block button there. If I try to be sensible and reasonable with you, and you are not being sensible and reasonable with me, so that I turn to Israel.
Okay, sir. So,
Ellen Paul is tomorrow. Someone is asking about Ellen Paul is tomorrow.
okay.
I'm interviewing Ellen Paul tomorrow.
All right.
Yes, please fire on my brother. Thank you.
So the next question I'd like to ask you is, um, first, I would love to hear, I mean, maybe in a nutshell, but before, what's exactly, I mean, let's just share a bit of your story, because people always see people that are successful and they don't know the story behind the success. But before that time, I mean, before you answer me that, I'd like to ask, if you have opportunity of talking to young people today, with the whole pandemic, with the whole situation in the world today, with the state of Nigeria. You know how people always kind of think that, you know what? I always say this: we can't wait to go back to the normal. We can't wait for things to go back to normal. I always tell them there is no back normal anywhere. We better get used to the new normal. There's these things have changed, and you celebrated your 60th birthday, if I'm not making mistake. And
Yes.
I discovered that of a lot of older uncles that we have around, you're one person that has been able to find yourself into Instagram. Instagram is more of a new generation thing. I remember my sons telling me that, you know what, Facebook, Twitter is old school. I saying
Hmm.
Twitter is not old school now. I say Twitter is old school. I say, I say Twitter already is old school already. So how you are able to just graduate from and transit from different generations and be able to appeal to different generation, whether old or young. What is always on your mind that you go through? You are on Instagram. You have, I think, over 500,000 followers, and
Almost
you
600,000 now. In the
almost six
next
hundred thousand followers,
1,000.
and you are able to just, I remember when you started coming. I remember when it was like 50,000. I remember when it was 20 something. I remember because I started following you immediately, and I'm wondering how you're able to. Lots of people at your age would never be or don't even know what Instagram is like. They don't even understand it. But you're able to. So with that whole kind of mindset, you've gone from different. You were just talking about Abacha, and I would love to hear that story properly. We're talking about Abacha, that you went on exile because of Abacha. Now, what will you encourage people? What do you think is the new normal? I don't think that anything, I think that a lot of things will never remain the same again. What is new normal? How do we think, not just because of the COVID-19 situation, but with life? How do we just navigate through, transit, and be able to cope with the changes that happen everywhere in life today? What do you think is the situation, and how can you encourage, especially young people, to be able to adapt, and how can they become relevant and become successful with the rapid changes that happen in the world that we live today? I have a lot of young people, like I said, on Zoom, on YouTube, on Instagram. What has been your secret that you have been able to sustain your relevance to today? And with the situation we find ourselves today, both with politics and health, the whole COVID-19 and the world generally today, what would you encourage? What should be the mindset of every young person listening to you now, that you want to encourage them how to move and be able to make impact and still be successful and be and keep the values that they have as Christians?
I wish my personal assistant was around. I would have wanted him to take my picture in this room now as I'm talking to you. You will not believe what I have done. You invited me on Zoom, but as I'm talking to you, I have 3 telephones in front of me, and all of them are live. I'm live with you on Zoom. I'm live with you on Instagram. I'm live with you on Facebook. 3 phones at the same time.
Wow.
Because I don't want to waste this opportunity of talking to you If I can talk to thousands of people, why do I want to talk to 50 people? That's number one. Number two is that the kind of education I received at the then University of Ife is probably different from the education people are receiving today. We were taught to maximize every opportunity. Without sounding immodest, I believe I am a master of reinvention. I have a friend, a colleague, Mr. Mayo Akipelu. He is the publisher of Global. He tells everyone who cares to listen that stop underrating Dele Momodu. He may look understated, he may look like he's unserious. Even when I was in school, a lot of people used to think I was unserious. Why? Because they won't see me when I'm reading. But if you look behind me, you can see some of my books. I have books all over this place. Some of these books are at least 40 years old. There is no way you will read these things and your life will not change. So I've mastered something. I will not allow these young guys to chase me out of the way. I've been patient for 24 years. I'm telling them now, I'm announcing it to them. That is why I am interviewing Bobrisky, interviewing everybody. So you can see me as a consummate journalist who takes his job seriously. Once you see a journalist who is discriminating, this one is enemy, that one is enemy, you will not go far. Now people can see those who think, oh, the time of ovation has passed. Passed where? Your time will pass only when you stop working. There are people who say, ovation. No, my case is not a case of once upon a time. Ovation is evergreen. Ovation is ever current. Ovation, like diamond, is there forever. It's not about me. It's what I told God. How can I be a Christian? And I promised God, I said, God, do this thing for me. This is what I will do. You must reach an agreement and accord with your God. It is very important. So by now, people don't understand these things. They are busy gossiping. They are busy talking. People are teaching me my job, telling me I cannot interview somebody. You are not a journalist, so you've not made a success of your own job. You are now telling me who to talk to, who to greet, who not to greet. No. So what I have done is, again, I was very fortunate. When I contested my election in 2011, when I contested my election, I had a team. I was the only person who had a 26-year-old man, Oimai Godwin Amaize, as a campaign manager. So imagine I was about 50 in 2010. This man was about 26. What was the wisdom in it? I had something to learn from him and his team. Bankole Omishure, all of them. You know, Oluwatobi Sonny, these were all young guys. Okay? So we set up our social media. That time, Twitter was the most important thing in vogue. Instagram came much later. By the time I lost the election, I did not lose my social media presence. By January 2012, they had moved me to 13,000 followers on Twitter. So one day I called them, I said, enough. I feel like I am crippled. I feel like an invalid, that I cannot handle my own Twitter. I have to be waiting for anytime I want to express myself. I have to phone Oimai or phone bank. Oh yeah, quickly, I'll write something, help me post. No, I said no. I have a master's degree in English literature in English. So how on earth can anybody write better than me? No, I want to be writing my own stories. That was how I picked up my Twitter. Today I've moved it to 1.2 million followers.
Wow.
Yes, at my age, I'm 60 plus now. There is nobody who can tell me that Dele Momodu is not a force to reckon with on Twitter. One of the biggest guys, politicians on Twitter today is Dino Menaye. Dino has been following me. Go on his page. I don't know unless he has changed it. I've been the only soul Dino has followed on Twitter. He's following only one person. So in life, you have to create that relevance for yourself, be consistent. My mom was an illiterate who did not go to school, but she was very naturally brilliant. She told me, when you go to the marketplace, face the person you are dealing with. Don't follow the noise of the marketplace. A lot of our young people get easily distracted. They get easily distracted. They want to worry about what people are saying about them. How can someone who has not made a success of his own life come and teach me about success? I will listen to you, and if I disagree with you, I will tell you. And if you get angry, I'm a very polite person. So that's one of the things also that has kept me going. People know that I will respond politely. Whether I agree or I disagree, I'll respond politely. But if you get me very, very uncomfortable where you are just insulting people and all that, then I block you. On Facebook, on Twitter, every day I encounter people. They don't know anything about your business, but they are experts in every business. And you ask them, if you know so much about magazine publishing, so what stopped you? Some people will say, oh, your magazine is only for rich people. And I tell them, I chose one aspect of magazine. You can also choose another aspect. You can choose yours for a poor people. There is not, nobody could be poorer than me. I was an errand boy as a young boy in Ile-Ife. I was a village teacher. I was a library assistant who clean the shelves and get books for people coming to read. I didn't complain to anybody. People will say they are poor. Your generation wasted our opportunity. Who wasted your opportunity? Our generation suffered. I was teaching in a village where I had to jump on cocoa tractor to get to the village. I didn't complain to anybody. I didn't grumble to anybody. Anywhere I found myself, I'm cool. From being the highest paid editor in Nigeria between 1990 and 1991, I lost my job. I became a bread seller. I didn't complain to anybody. Wow. I knew there is dignity in labor. In 1987, I teamed up with a few of my friends. We said we're going to do business in Ede at the NYSC camp. So we were doing chicken and chips. We were selling ice cream. We were showing movies. You know, we had these reels of films. And every evening we would show to the coppers. I borrowed money from my brother, who is a professor in Ife. Others brought in their own money. You will not believe what happened. The day we were to start the business, it rained dogs and cats in Ede. And my shop, our shop was just down the slope. So all the water, all the mud came. We lost our potatoes. We lost our freezer got spoiled. I nearly got electrocuted next to our freezer. The day we had the best movie was the day the reel cut into pieces. People were asking for refunds. Some people came with double tickets. We lost everything. Our ice cream was melting. It used to be called Big Deep. I was carrying ice cream on my head. Remember, I graduated in 1982. I'm talking about as a graduate in 1987, I carried ice cream on my head. I didn't complain to anybody.
Wow.
So how can you get angry today that I'm successful? No. God took me through the pains. God took me through the valleys. So our youth must know that there was never a time life was easy. Yesterday, I was with an old man, and this uncle of mine was saying, in the past, life was good. I said, oh God, it is not true. He said, what do I mean? I said, it's not true. Fortunately, I listened to musicians. We didn't have the facilities to buy new records and play at home. We didn't have facilities to even watch television. Anytime Muhammad Ali was fighting, we had no television. It was only one man in the whole area who had television, black and white. And we have to stand outside the window. We can't go into a sitting room to sit down and watch television. Okay? So I said, look, I used to listen to music. And when you listen, austerity measure yìí pọ̀ ó kè mí ó kàn wọ́ ó kàn ọmọdé ó kà àgbà ó kà láàrú ó kẹ́ni ó kẹ́rù ṣe ó kò níṣẹ́ ọwọ́ ó kò ní ṣòwò. That's an album of many. I can't remember who sang it now, whether Dele Ojo or one of them. Long ago, was singing about austerity. So how can anybody be singing austerity in the 1970s? And you tell me at that time, life was perfect.
Wow.
Life is a cycle. It goes like that. You know, I'm telling you. So people can say anything. Every generation will produce successful people. Every generation will produce unsuccessful people. There is nothing you can do about it. So it's for you to pray to God and work hard. Chief Abiola used to tell, he said, hard work is prayer in action. That's one of the things I picked from Chief Abiola. Hard work is prayer in action.
Wow.
Some say the problem of Nigeria is military system. Problem of Nigeria is that of Nigerians. It does not matter. The military man is only in uniform. He's still a Nigerian. And it is the mentality, it's whatever he has in his brain that is driving him. It's not because he's a soldier. My mom, I'm so grateful. I studied Yoruba for my first degree. My mom taught me, it is what you have inside. The alcohol will push outside. When somebody said I was drunk, that's why I did it, it's a lie. That thing was already inside your stomach before alcohol now helped you to to catapult it to the outside. Oh yes. That's what my mom taught me. So look, somebody who does not have money and is not ready to work, and you are saying something is going to drop. Drop from where? The last time manna dropped was in the Bible. We haven't heard of manna in Africa. It's a very serious matter. I did school 3 times. 3 times I did school start. First one, I had F9 chemistry, F9 biology, F9 mathematics. My mom, despite not being literate, insisted I must go back each time. So it does not matter how many times you fall. What matters is how many times you pick yourself up whenever you fall down.
Let me get in there. I mean, it's interesting for me that I feel really privileged to be asking the person that normally will ask for questions. So I want you to be honest to every young person. I'd like you. I want to ask you. I have 3 more questions. We have about 20 minutes more. 3 questions. Number 1, be truly honest, because one of the things that I've seen in today's generation is that we all live with the whole packaging. On Instagram, you are okay. Somebody just posted herself or himself in front of one G-Wagon, but is living somewhere and sleeping on the floor and actually depressed. But on social media is looking all cool and smiling, and people are saying, man, I see somebody that is even driving his own small Camry, just saying, man, look at that person, no child, look at the car she posted. You don't know where the person is. There's so much fakeness happening in the world today. Can you be honest, sir, and tell us what was the lowest moment of your life? I don't know whether it's the exile moment, but I mean, what are the most, or which moments is that moment where you were human enough to feel like, man, this is not working, I'm done? Because a lot of us sometimes go through all of these kind of things where we feel like, man, no, I can't do this anymore. I have a lot of young people that call me regularly and that speak to me every time and that say, you know what, we're going through stuff. So tell me, how are you able to to go through that moment and still somehow find your way through it? But first, let us know what was the worst, deep, difficult time when you shut the door and cried and was by yourself and felt like nothing is working. This is the end. I mean, this will help a lot of young people. This will really help a lot of young people. What moment was that?
Dr. Tim Godfrey, let me tell you the honest truth. I told you already, I've passed through many valleys, I've passed through mountains, I've climbed mountains, and I've descended into valleys. But I'll just give you maybe one or two, and it will be my exile years. You can imagine a man who never planned to live abroad, and suddenly he has to flee abroad. I had no. My first son was less than 1 year old. I left my first son and my wife at maybe about 5 a.m. in the morning to say goodbye. I was on the destination to the unknown. I knew I had to, first of all, get out of Nigeria through the bush because I couldn't go through the airport. So I managed to crawl. I had 3 people with me who supported me, and I managed to cross to Cotonou. And I looked back at Nigeria and I started crying.
Wow.
And I had what we call interior monologue in literature. It's a stream of consciousness that forces you to think at the speed of light. Oh my God, where am I going? When will I get there? How will I get there? Will I ever come back? All these things were in my brain, just running riot. And eventually I got to England. I had to squat, okay, with a younger friend of mine. I had to squat. When you say you're a squatter, so I squatted. Later, my wife and my son managed to get out of Nigeria to join me. We were sleeping in that room until we now got an apartment. The day we got that apartment will be one of my saddest days. And I'm not sure if my wife will even know how bad it was. I did not have a dime. And that's why no matter what you say, me, I'm not afraid to acknowledge that I was poor at different times and I had saviors that God sent to me. One of them was Chief Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He gave me the 500. We had no cutlery. We had no duvet to even cover our body in winter. And the only person we could approach and who was ready to give us something was Chief Bola Ahmed Tinubu. 500 pounds that day. It was like 500 million. I am telling you. So there have been other instances, plenty. Even when we started Ovation at a stage, we got broke. We could not come out for months. And people, you know our people now, they are waiting for your fall now. Those guys don't finish. I hear say the magazine when they come out again. Ṣùgbọ́n there is a song I used to sing. Wọ́n retí ẹlẹ́yàwó, ibo lẹ fi t'Olúwa sí o, aráyé o, ẹ má rẹ̀ dá pé o. You know, so they are expecting your downfall, but where did they put the role of God? That's the meaning of what I was singing to you. I know you don't speak Yoruba. In life, I never gave up. A guy I didn't know from nowhere, a friend met him. And he said, what's happening now to Bobby? Ovation, is in, we're not seeing it now. And this gentleman, Jimmy Akini, told him that Bobby has problems. And this man, Benga, at this way, I said, you miss her? I hope you won't feel insulted. Young guy, very young guy. I hope you won't feel insulted though if I give you something. The guy sent me 5,000 pounds. You see how God, yes, once you have faith in God and people can see your hard work, of course, that money couldn't solve the problem. Again, a friend took me one day to go and interview a man, Dr. Bodela Jumoke. I'd heard about him, I'd never met him. I went for the interview somewhere in Surrey, in England. And after the interview, the man told me, he said, my wife likes your magazine, but what's the problem? Well, you seem to be having problems. I said, money says if it is not at home, let no man make no plans in his absence. He said he could understand, he could understand. Oh, sorry. Then he went back to Nigeria. Then one day he called me out of the blues. He said, Dele, is there anything I can do to help you? You have been on my mind since I left. You see, God will just put you in people's minds, your destiny helpers. Yes. He said, it's thinking about me. He said, what can he do? I said, I don't know what you can do, sir. He said, do you mind if I give you a loan? I said, you don't look a gift horse in the mouth. How can I say no? He said, he can send me 10,000 pounds. On the phone, I was shaking. I was shivering. Then he asked me, he sent me a number. That time it was fax, man. He said I should fax my details to his bedroom in Lagos. I sent it. He sent me the 10,000 pounds. He gave me 1 year to pay him back. Of course, 1 year. Publishing is like Kalu Kalu. Kalu Kalu means casino. The money disappeared. Pew. So at the end of the year, by then Abacha had died, Fabiola had died, so I was back. So I came home from exile. So I now went to greet him for Christmas. That sir, please forgive me your money. Oh, I can't repay. Can you extend the thing? Then he laughed and laughed and laughed. I went with a friend that day. I think Sheyi or Olubagbe. And we went there. He's my witness. And the man laughed. And he said, "So you actually believe I gave you a loan?" I said, "But I signed an agreement, sir. And I would never. That's another thing. You must never go against an agreement. No matter how difficult, never go against an agreement." So then he took me inside. He said, "Dele, I'm very proud of you. I can see that with the little money I gave you, it re-energized your business." I said, "Thank you." So I said, "But I don't have the money to pay back yet. Please help me extend." He said, then he laughed. He said, he was just joking with me that the money was a dash. Can you believe that?
Wow.
He never, not just that, he wrote a check of 1 million for me that day. He said,
Wow.
just to thank me that you have done well. The story of my life will fill up 10 books. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, because I have people saying here and there, have you written book? When can you write all of these things to help young people just read? Because sometimes we need to read some of these books to be inspired. To know that
I'm still building a mega brand. It's not easy to build a super brand. And even when you build, it's not easy to sustain it. So I am still fighting, okay, tooth and nail, to make sure that we stabilize to the extent that even me, I don't have to be around, other people can run it. We're getting there slowly but steadily. You know, I must write my books. Fortunately, every opportunity I have like this, I'm talking about it. So it's part of the documentation. So even an independent person can go on YouTube and read almost nearly everything about me. I have so many of my friends joining on different platforms now. There are many of them who know the story. Adewale Adeyemo is watching us from North Carolina right now. Henry Ukazu is watching us from New York. I'm seeing them. And so my life is totally in the hands of God. Totally. And so that is the story of my life. I have reached my lowest ebb, not once, not twice. What do you end at home and something you look, if I give you my testimonials, God has sent good people my way. People will talk, of course, about Chief Moshood Abiola, you will talk about Dr. Mike Adenuga, you will talk about Yadura. There have been good people around me. There has never been a time. In fact, what Wale Adeyemo tells me every time is that my mom is not sleeping in heaven, because my mom was a prayer warrior. She was an Aladura woman, okay, was a prayer warrior, went into spirits, one of those spiritual things they did in our church. And Wale tells me, he said, go and check it. Mama is not sleeping. My mom looked after everybody, all my friends, unless my mom did not know you. You will become a child immediately. So this, someone is writing that Kola Bella bought me my first car. It's true. Miraculously, Kola Bella was about 29 years old when he bought me my first car. Can you believe that? And I have plenty of stories. People know. Some people know about my stories. If you go on YouTube or you go and read, and I never hide. That's part of the problem these days. I must talk about ingratitude. I think one of the biggest problems a lot of our young people have today is that of ingratitude. You help somebody and he's hiding. He doesn't want anybody to know that you are. What's wrong with people helping you? Those who help you are helped by some people at different times. I see people, celebrities, who during my 60th birthday could not wish me happy birthday, so because they are big. I called you, you didn't charge me 1 kobo, you came to perform. You think I will forget that? Shino Peters, all the people who came, there is no way I'll forget you. So people don't know, so they get so big, and the first person they want to be rude to is those who help them to grow up.
Yeah,
And
I
that's
think that's
why
one of
Two-Face. I must mention some people. Two-Face and Banky W. I can't forget those guys. So, Ayo Animation put my 60th birthday, the Zoom party, put it on live television for about 5 hours across Africa, about 40-something countries. Some people will not do that. Anytime.
This is one of things. This is one of the things you told me when we spoke.
Yeah.
And you shared to me how being grateful. I mean, in those days, artists wanted to identify with Ovation. People wanted to meet you. Some of the top artists, not even of this generation, of the past generation, the likes of those days of their Two-Face, Soneji, Style Plus, all those guys before them, everybody, it was like Ovation was the biggest thing that everybody wanted to appear on, everybody, and you helped a lot of them. And like you said, sometimes people just forget all these things quickly.
You know, it's unfortunate, especially in our industry. Entertainers forget so soon. Before they get there, they come and sleep at your doorstep. If you say crawl under the table, they are ready to crawl. Oh, but a few of them, I've told them to their faces before, not in a rude manner, but that, oh boy, what's the matter with you? So you're a big man, so we can't call. And say, you won't believe people that I spend my own money on, when I'm doing a show, they will charge me as if they are charging UBA or any of the big companies. And I tell them. So when I was spending my money, didn't you realize that it was my own investment at that time in your own success? So how can you now talk to me and you say, oh, this is business? Oh, so me, I was not doing business. Ovation puts you on the cover of a magazine, an international magazine, so you didn't realize I was doing business. So I went to the magazine printing press in Enfield in England, and you think it was free of charge. I carried the magazine from England to New York to all over the world. You think it was not business. So because you can play guitar or you can blow saxophone, so now you are doing business. They need to rethink. Our industry must rethink for them to grow. They must rethink for them to grow. There is too much gra-gra everywhere. It's painful.
What do you think? What do you think? Yes, sir. What do you think, sir? What do you think we need to do? I mean, you've been through it all, you've seen it all, and I'm so blessed. I'm even on your page on Instagram. I have my own Instagram also on. I have a Zoom, I have a YouTube. Now I'm seeing some of the comments on your page and all of those. I'm checking all the pages so that I see what people are saying. Now, what do you think? What do you honestly think would I don't know how better Nigeria can be, but what do you honestly think that we can do that can happen for Nigeria to be, I'm using the word better carefully, just better. Let's even let it look like, for instance, let me just get home and know that there's electricity 24 hours. For instance, let me drive in a good road. For instance, let me just know that if I'm getting home, there's a bit of security and all of those little things. What do we and I am I I've lived a little tiny bit in this world, and I've stayed in Nigeria all my life. And I know some of this hope that we've been having for the past 40, 50, 60 years. And what do you think? You have worked with presidents all over the world. In Africa, you know most of the presidents, you relate to them, and you comfortably relate, and they respect you. What do you think is the solution for Nigeria or solution for Africa? What
Okay.
can we do?
Before I answer that question, someone just reminded me that I was saying something about Two-Face and Banky W. I wanted to say that Two-Face and Banky W, their staying power, unknown to a lot of their colleagues, is their humility. Okay? So they are very diligent in their work, but they allow humility to. There is nowhere in the world that Banky W has ever met me that I will not prostrate. He's an Ajabota now. He's not even an Ajepaki like me. If you see Banky, you know this is an Oyibo boy, silver spoon. But he still respects his elders. People think it means nothing. It means a lot. What it means is that tomorrow, if he calls me to say, please, Bob D, I need this or that, even if I don't have it, I will make an effort. Same thing with Two-Face. Two-Face will see me, will hug me, say, hey, bros, I don't know what you do to me. When I meet you, I just feel giddy about you. And because he knows that unless I don't have that thing, I'll give it to him. So that's life. One good turn deserves another. Anyway, to your question, how can we make Nigeria better? Fortunately,
Yes,
that was
and sir, for those of them asking, it's because of the time. That's why I'm trying to rush most of the. I mean,
yeah.
if I allow you speak about you took like 3 or 4 hours talking to me about humility and gratitude, and you spoke about loyalty, and all of these things are things that I hope that you can give us the opportunity to have you again, so that we can stay on that for a while. Because if you
So
want to speak
trust
about
I'm
loyalty,
never
humility,
tired of
discipline,
teaching. I am
yes, sir.
never tired of teaching. I had wanted to be a teacher, probably marry a teacher and live happily there. It was joblessness that brought me to Lagos. A
That's
teaching
right.
job. So trust me, whenever you need me, just call me. I'll be back. Now,
Yes, sir.
talking about making Nigeria better, last Saturday, that was my article at the back page of this day newspaper. Will Nigeria ever be good again? People ask that question all the time. My answer is yes. It is very possible. It is doable. All it takes is just one man, not even a multitude. When Buhari came in 2015, if Buhari was ready to hit the ground running, if Buhari was ready to unite Nigerians, you would have seen the difference. But the moment you start playing politics and then you allow the Yankee experts to come into your life, everything will scatter. When Fashola was in Lagos, he started from where? He was planting flowers, he was beautifying Lagos. You will see Nigerians love good things and they know good people when they see one. It's very easy. So it's just that one man. Until you have that man, one, who is willing to unite us, there will be no segregation, there will be no division. You will see how people will all work together. Right now, nobody wants to work for monkey, they work, baboon, baboon, they chop. Nobody wants that. So that's part of the thing. So when you hear people say, hey, it's our turn means it's our turn to go and chop our part of the national cake. That's the mindset. But if you know, it's like when at the time Britain used to give people visas, you will see that fewer and fewer people stopped going to stay for too long because they know they can get the visa anytime. But when you know, if I go this time, I might not get another chance. Do you understand? So it's the same thing with leadership. Once people see leadership as something that when it comes to your area, at least 1 or 2 billionaires will land. Then everybody is just waiting for their own turn. That is that. The issue of education. Look, don't wait for government. Find anything you can do. And it doesn't have to be a university. Vocational studies. Be the best in what you do. If you're a bricklayer, be the best. If you're a musician, you will see Lagbaja. You will see the effect of education on Lagbaja. The way he conducted his business, the amount of money he was able to charge. Nobody will go and call Lagbaja and they will not sit down with his managers and management to agree on his modalities. That is the effect of education. So it's very important. Today, people are going to university to read what they don't need. You say you are reading psychology. Ooh, I'm not saying people should not read psychology. But please, before you go and jump into something, make sure it's something that you have a passion for. Make sure it's something that will be relevant to you in the future. I read Yoruba, I read literature. So today I'm a writer. So, but why would I go and read law if at the end of the day, I'm sorry, with due respect to lawyers, I just become a charge and bail lawyer? You understand? So you need it. You need to make sure that if you are an artisan, you are a plumber, you are a bricklayer, you are a carpenter, you know your job well. You will see that everybody will come to you. Look at tailors today. We have so many tailors in Nigeria, but there are people who have been very consistent. What I'm wearing now is by vivid imagination. He does this style and all this. And he did my wedding dresses as far back as 1992 till today. Vivid imagination is still one of the best in Nigeria. It's about being consistent. Mayor Akipelu, I believe, is watching. Mayor Kunle Bakare, Dele Momodu, Femi Akintunde Johnson, we were the same set of people, Sheye Kehinde, and all of till today. Go and check those records. All the guys who were doing great things then, who were consistent, they are still doing it today. So for me, Nigeria will be okay. I'm sure a day will come when God will just take charge. Some people can say, oh, it's a lie. Trust me, I've seen it. I've read world history. There is no country that has been sentenced to slavery and servitude forever. I've not seen it. My friend Mayor Akipelu, read history. So we always talk about history a lot, You can imagine USSR at a time. There was a time it was just one single country, and then one day everybody went apart. But we don't pray for that for Nigeria, because the beauty of Nigeria today is our unity, is our bigness, our size. Anybody would like to come and do business in Nigeria when the right climate is there because of our size. We are respected all over the world because of our size and then our brains. Nigerians are among the most brilliant human beings on earth. I've been to most and practically all the continents, over 60 countries, and there's nowhere I've been that did not mean Nigerians doing great things. Our problem is always at home. And we all know the problems we have. We all know the solution, but nobody is ready to make the sacrifice. In Nigeria today, nobody can say it doesn't know that our problem has to do with ethnicity, with religion, and the obsessive love of money. People steal in arrears, they steal in advance. The country can't continue. Yeah, in arrears, they steal in advance. You steal what you don't need. How can you steal your own property? It takes a kind of mental derangement for anybody. You go anywhere they put you, you must go and steal. And what do you do with the money? Marry more wives, go abroad for medicals. How many people can go abroad now for medicals? And there's no amount of money you can steal that can guarantee that you will live forever. So why are you wasting your time? If you build the biggest house on earth. I live in a flat. It took me years to be able to even get this. But I'm happy. It doesn't matter. You're not going to sleep in 2 bedrooms. So my advice to my young friends who are with you is that please believe in God, work very hard, be prayerful, be nice to people, be ready to forgive. Even if you don't forget, please forgive. And you will see that you will live in peace. And once you live in peace, everything else shall be added unto it. And I pray that God Almighty will continue to bless you and bless my very dear friend and brother, Dr. Timothy Godfrey. The Nara King. Nara, now you didn't play. I play your music all the time on my show.
Yes, sir. I finally before we close for today, I feel truly honored the way, and I'm actually on your page right now, and I've seen a lot of people saying things like, "I met you at the airport. You spent 30 minutes talking to me. I met you at the Glow Launch." So, and I've seen all of those things, and I'm going to share a bit of testimony of how after we spoke, I needed some sort of help from you. I remember that. So in fact, I've already told myself that anytime you call, even before anything happened, remember I told you that anytime I'm coming before, there are some people that I know that I have relationship with what I've learned from them. So everything is not money. People meet people, and I remember somebody asking somebody one day that if you meet um Steve Jobs, like when he was alive, what first? Because first guy was saying, I'll ask for money, money. Everything is not money. So when you spoke to me, it hit me hard. Like I thought about everything, and some of those things are quite simple. Some people might be listening and watching right now and be saying, it's not being gratitude, it's not being loyal, and all of those things. I've seen how powerful loyalty is with relationship. I know you told me that you still print. I don't know whether it's still going on right now. That you still print. You told me that time you still print with the same people that prints for you
Printer,
or your
20
operation.
years, same printer in England. I haven't changed them till today.
For
As
how,
I'm talking, I'm printing.
for how many years?
20 years now.
Wow.
You have to print, yeah. If you Google the magazine printing company, you will see them. In fact, when I was contesting election, they wrote a letter to whom it may concern that Dele Momodu is the first publisher who changed their minds about how they see Nigerians, that they will be willing to endorse me anytime. Some people will come today, print here, they owe them money, run away, owe them money, run away. If I don't have money, I tell them I don't have. There's nobody who cannot get broke in life. You can get broke at any time. But don't lose your integrity, because it's your integrity that will sustain you.
Wow, wow. So I just saying that. I mean, I know one time I called you and there's some connects and you did it effortlessly. And again, I remember you called me back to say because I had just 2 minutes to explain what I was doing, and you told me that the person told you that you know what, in 2 minutes this guy. So that's another thing that we need to know as young people. How prepared are you to meet opportunities? How
Oh, yeah.
much have you worked?
Preparation. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So because I had 2 minutes and this person says, quickly talk to me, tell me what you I went straight in that 2 minutes, I've sold market of what? And then by the time you call me back, you say, what did you say to this person that the person is so convinced and is so happy with and says that no, this guy, there's something about this guy. So we have to be very, very prepared. We have to always work. I feel like for some of us, we think that when people don't see us, how as an artist, everybody wants to be on the spotlight. Everybody wants to be seen. And I'm sure even in other industry, you are staying where you're staying as somebody working at a very low level. Your eyes is just at the top level. You're not prepared. You're not working. You're not getting yourself ready. Every time you are, it's just like saying that when a woman is pregnant, any baby that is born premature will is a 50-50 chance. There are some positions you might get into when you're not ready and it will kill you. The more premature you give you I mean a baby that you want to give birth to after 3 months pregnancy will not even survive. So every time we stay in the place of getting ready, working, especially when people don't see what we do, and that's another thing I think about Nigeria, where we always want to feel like the little we do when people are not seeing us is not important. That we want to, it's eye service, it's there you're trying to show off and stuff. That that little time I have been rehearsing throughout this whole pandemic time and lockdown. After the lockdown, the moment they just opened it, I have been rehearsing almost every day. Now, most of my friends will rehearse when they have events, just a day before the event or 2 days before. But I've been rehearsing consistently without event. How prepared are you as a young person? How much ready have you worked your craft and built yourself and prepared yourself so that as an IT person, you come to your boss's office and there's a challenge in one area that the person that is supposed to do is not around. And you say, excuse me, sir, can I just do this thing? And you sort it out and they say that every time there's always opportunity, but how prepared most of us, in fact, if you go to a church, people in pews don't want to stay in pews, they want to be in the altar preaching. At some point you have to clean, at some point you have to do all of these things. Every one of the things you do behind the scene is preparation for when the opportunity will come. Like they say, there's no such thing as magic. There's no such thing as luck. I don't even believe in it. I believe in miracle, but you know what? Even the miracle you thought you got was something that you have done. I mean, I remember the first blessing that I got. Somebody gave me, and I'm not going to get into the story. And I went back. I kept thanking this person for about 4 years. And the person called me one day and said, "Please, can you stop thanking? This is a long time I did this thing for you." And the person told me that, "Do you know why I did what I did? I don't even understand." I said, "Why?" The person said, "I don't even understand why I did it because it's possible that you have done something somewhere because there was no reason for me to do what I did for you. It's possible that you have done something somewhere that God is trying to pay you back. What I did for you right now, when God is going to pay me back for it, I might not understand. I'll be asking, why did this person, why is this happening to me? And people, and the person that is doing it for me would say, I just don't know, I just feel like. So there's always a place for you to stay behind the scene. There's always a place for you to walk where people are not seeing you. When people are not clapping for you, when people are not shouting praise, when you're not the one on stage, when you're not the one leading, when you're not the chairman, when you're doing somebody else's work, when you're helping somebody else's see their dream come through, when you're serving somebody, how and what is your attitude? And that's what I've learned from almost everything you're talking about. How humble you are, your loyalty, your integrity, how you're able to build other people's business will determine how your own will work. Most times, we don't take all of this into consideration. And that's one of the things that personally I do for myself. I always make sure, in the place of working, making sure I get prepared, making sure I am ready, making sure that I push myself beyond limits. I do not compromise that. I don't care if every other person is driving the big cars. I don't care if another person is flying. I've seen people that release their first single and they explode their poor. And I've released 2 albums and nobody heard about me. And after that first single they released, and not because it's even a good thing what I'm saying, but after that first single, nothing else happened. Some people will release their second album and become big. Some people will release their 20th album before they become big. It depends on how it works, but you keep going consistently, keep pushing, keep keep reminding yourself of why you even started in the first place. So it is not about your timing. Most times, our mindset and our timing and our belief or our, our expectations clash with God's own design for our life. Our expectations, our desires, our now, the world we live in now, microwave, sharp, 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 making it quickly clashes with what God has already preordained for our lives. So one of the things I want to leave with everybody here from what we have learned from Uncle D is that you have to be patient. This is he just said that he's been printing with the same people for 20 years. He said, I mean, this is somebody that Abacha put on, he went on exile because of Abacha. Check the Abacha days. Some of us were not born then. And he's still very consistent till now. So, guys, there is no, I believe in miracle, I repeat it again, but there is no shortcut. You have to keep working yourself. You have to keep pushing yourself. You have to keep trying to get better. You have to keep trying to to beat your past success. You have to keep trying to help others. You have to keep trying to serve others. You have to keep trying to find solution. Work. And if there was any prayer I will ask anybody to pray today, normally we'll pray very hard, but I'm going to leave you with this. If there's any prayer I want you to pray, pray for God to open the eyes of your minds, to open up secrets in hidden places, to give you ideas, because ideas rule the world. And
Mm.
when they give you those kind of things, get back into building it, work it, work it, work it, keep working it. People don't know how long I've been doing music. It is almost about 27, 28 years I've been doing music as an
Wow.
artist. People don't know that I did tour in America with Style Plus. Style Plus. Style Plus that they call legend now, that people are saying, Style Plus, those days. I did a tour with them, 5 states tour with them in US. People like Son Energy, I performed in the same platform with them when they were big. And we were together, friends. I featured Son Energy on the song that I never released. Star Plus were cool, we were friends. I was relevant at that point. But some of these guys, so what kept you relevant? That's why I kept asking you questions. That's why I always connect with you, because there's something about longevity. If they call people that I worked with those days legends now, and me, people are still, some people still see me and say, man, this Tim Godfrey, man, he's still so young. He has energy. He's still a small boy. They don't know. They don't know that most of the shows I get, you see teenagers, young people, they invite me every time. They want me to come. And most of these teenagers, they don't even know how old I am. But somehow, from what you have said, is the way I've kept my life. I keep pushing myself. I have a lot of young people around me that push me,
You know,
that are trying
better
to
they know
understand them.
how you are. If they know how old you are, they will run away from you.
Go-
Trust me. They will run away. You know, now I'm able to interview Tonto DK. I'm able to interview Bobrisky. Why? Because I can operate. They can see I move with everybody. I'm very tolerant of every shade of opinion. Even if I disagree with you, I will still listen. So that is key. You see, if your clients know how old you are, they will say you are in the league of Sunny Ade, so they will go and call Sunny Ade and leave you. That's what will happen, you know. But I mean, you've done very well, and I must say a big congratulations to you, and especially for making this effort to make sure you also educate others.
Thank you so much, sir. If there is one word you want to leave with us today, a lot of young people on YouTube and on Instagram, on
Thank
Zoom,
you.
what would be the thing you leave with every young person?
Oh, is that you have to be focused. You have to stay focused. If they come on my page, Instagram every day, they will see a steady focus. I will not get distracted. People can say whatever they like. The first thing is, like you said just now, prepare for the journey. If you are going to travel, you must think of what am I carrying with me on the journey. So you have a bag. If you know you can have slight headache on the way, so have a first aid bag in which you have your Panadol ready, your spray, or whatever, you know. So you must prepare. If you see me even in this office, if I show you where I'm sitting now, you see my hand luggage, everything is there. You can everything is there. I'm ready for any journey. If you tell me now I have 10, 15 minutes to pack, I'm ready to go with you. You know, so just stay focused and don't give up. Because trials and tribulations must come. I can see one man here saying I'm blowing grammar. No problem, but I can tell you, he says in position of power, everything will change. If I wanted power, trust me, in 60 years, I'm not as weak as not to know how to get it. All I have to do first is join a political party. Two is I have more than enough godfathers in Nigeria. Go and lobby them. By the time I sit in Tinubu's house for 2 weeks, trust me, I will get a job. I will get a job. If a man was giving me 500 pounds in 1995, so you can imagine how close we were. So there is no way I'll go to Tinubu's house today. I say, I need something. I won't get it. It's not possible. So, you see, but I just decided that, look, let me face, all of us can be in politics or in power at the same time. It's not that I'm better than those who are in power. It's not that I am cleaner than them. It's not that I'm more intelligent than them. But the thing is that this is the path God has chosen for me. And sometimes I'm even grateful to God that, hey, what if I went into power and I lost ovation? What will happen? Barabata, I'll be in power for 8 years. So 8 years out of 60 years. Is that all? So what I'm doing today, I'm a minister in my own house. I'm a president in my own house. In my private capacity, I'm meeting presidents, I'm meeting world leaders. So you understand? Even as minister, I have to wait, I have to queue up, I have to do all sorts for me to be able to maintain my job as a minister. So I'm not moved by all those things that you think. It's not everybody that is desperate for position. The reason why people get desperate is that one, some people don't even have anything to return to if they go into politics. That's why you see some people make politics a permanent career. I'm not interested, and I'm saying it publicly. If I have to beg my country before I can get a job, it means that I don't deserve the job. I'm a minister, trust me, I'm a president in my house. If a president does some of the things I do today, they will say he's a thief. But everybody knows that, look, God has blessed me. I've lived abroad. I know something. And that's another thing that our young ones don't know. The reason why Nigerian youths are suffering today is because we don't have credit facilities. None of us will have a house abroad if we don't get a mortgage. So if I'm the president of Nigeria today, those are the things we have to do. Even in Ghana, you see a lot of young girls driving brand new cars. They didn't buy it cash, it's credit. You get a car loan. Once you have a job, okay, a secure job, your employers will sign as guarantors. That's all. There is no rocket science about running a country. But everybody gets there, like you said, because they had a predetermined motive for going into power. But trust me, there are still good people in power in Nigeria today. I'm not saying they are saints, but there are good people. So it's not a question of Enodun for. There is no Enodun for. We have seen it all. We've gone all over the world. Like he said, I know how many presidents I've met, and I see that there are good people in Africa. Okay, John Mahama, the former president of Ghana, I know what he did in 3 years in Ghana. Built over 1,000 capacity bed hospital within 3 years, built hundreds of kilometers of roads, built a brand new airport. It is doable. They don't have two heads. They don't have two heads. They have problems of electricity in Ghana. They were talking about Doomso. This man within 18 months was able to inject over 800 megawatts of power. Go and check it. If you think it's a lie, call me later or send me DM. I'll send you all the pictures and everything. There are leaders and there are leaders. If you are determined to do things, leadership is not about whether you are a saint or not. It's about managing people and resources. So some people are gifted, and then the image of a country is very important. People must meet your leader and they can see sign of seriousness in that leader. No, who wants to go and put money in your country if people don't think you are serious? If people think religion is your priority, if people think ethnicity is your priority, so who is coming to waste their time in your country? There are Nigerians today, and we have them all over the world. We have them all over the world doing great things. There is nowhere you go, you won't find Nigerians at the top somewhere. There is nowhere. So, but when our own priority is always about ethnicity and religion and money, who has the biggest pocket? So, we will suffer for a long time unless we change that. You can't repeat the same things and expect something to change. Nothing will change. Sammy, you are Pedu, I saw your comments. Did you see? I will sue you for libel. How? God bless you.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you. Thank
Ah,
you for all that
oh,
you do. I'm truly, truly grateful for the time. I know you're very busy. But I mean, it hits home when you kind of relate with people like you. Like we can really connect. A lot of young people really want to hear what you're saying, want to hear how you have been able to come to this point. And please, if you can, if you're here, following Uncle Dele, please. They call it. So go to
I
Innovation
can see
Dele
my
early
old friend
morning.
Doing Yola. I like is watching. I don't know if he's in London or he's in Nigeria at the moment.
Yes, sir.
Wow, my friends
Different
here.
people. Yeah. So thank you, and to all of the guys that tuned in um, from different parts of the world, thank you so much. For all the good Nigerians that are working hard, trying to make Nigeria a better place, trying to represent Nigeria, ambassadors, doing different things, different people. Thank you so much. I want to close by saying that we'll have you come back to come and share. I want people need to understand some of the story about Nigerian politics a bit. You know how everything happened, and you have been around to see most of these things, and how we can better. I mean, a lot of people want to hear how Nigeria can get better, what we can do, the little we can do, and so you share your experience. So thank you so much. It's Monday Night Live. We do this every Monday, 8 p.m. Different guests come in and share their experiences and teach us so much. Those of you that have been consistent on Zoom, that will give the opportunity of joining us on Zoom, thank you so much. Those of you on Instagram, thank you so much. Those of you on YouTube, thank you so much. Those of you that tuned in to Uncle Dele's Instagram and Facebook, thank you so much. I do appreciate every one of you one by one. We'll not normally we'll have time to take questions, but I've actually gone about 20 minutes beyond our time, and it's never enough time to talk to you, sir. So hopefully next time we can have some of the people that are with us, especially on Zoom, to ask you direct questions. If they have questions, please send them to me. I'll forward it to him, and then we can meet up again. This is different from what we normally do. Sometimes we bring pastors, sometimes we bring different people, but this is I mean, if you are listening, you would have learned a lot if you were really paying attention. This would change your life forever. So thank you so much, sir. I really do appreciate you and I honor you. I
Thank you.
celebrate
I'll
you.
be posting on Facebook, the conversation on Facebook. Though I started the Facebook a bit late, but I think I have the full version on Instagram. So people can watch it from there again.
Yeah, we also have it on YouTube. You can
Oh,
also check it out.
fantastic. Fantastic.
Yes.
Good to see you. Thank
Awesome.
you. Good night, my
So
dear
thank
friend.
you.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Everybody, thank you so much. We don't have time to do much again. We'll leave you with my guys. I love you guys. God bless you. See you next week, Monday. It's Monday Night Live, and all of the guys that are working behind the scenes to get all these things working. I really do appreciate you, Black Tribe, and the leaders of Monday Night Live, from um, um, Tokwe to the last person. I do appreciate all the effort that you guys put in to make all of this happen. Black Tribe, thank you so much. Everybody, I really do appreciate you. And I will be leaving here. I love you. See you next week, Monday. We're going to be having an amazing guest. Probably next week. You shall get it on time. I love you. God bless you. Bye bye.
Yes, yes, yes. That was the end of the Zoom program with